Vincent, your reflections on that performance, please.
No, it was a good, honest, brave performance, filled with energy, and you look back at the chances we've had, so that makes you feel like just connecting with one of them could give you something maybe, but in the end, I thought it was key for us. I didn't want us to roll over because we came to Old Trafford, and I don't think we did at any point. But it was a tough game, of course, yeah.
As you rightly said, there's a couple of moments in the first half, and a series of moments in the second half, where you could have got a real foothold in the game.
Yeah, but it's and then you see the action of Rashford and the pass from Bruno Fernandes, who was, it's a really perfect, delicate pass, and of course they've got these moments of quality, and but for us as well, it was a moment where we needed to get something out of this game, and I think if it couldn't be the result, then it could be the performance, and there's definitely some positives for us to take on the performance.
As a top defender yourself, where do you stand on Rashford's goal? Exceptional, or could you have done more?
I look. It depends. We got a back line with 20, early 20-year-olds in there. So which version of Vincent Kompany are we talking about? Early 20s or end of my 20s? And you handle it differently with time. And then the key thing for me is you got to play with quality there as well, which, you're not going to recover every ball of him. I think there's a positional mistake whereby we allow him the space to drive at us. But then after that, you're in the hands of, also the quality of the player.
Just finally from me, does this experience tonight give your players anything that they can take into that championship assault to get back where you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a range of problems to solve this season. So you go and look at 60, 70, not all of it, but 60, 70% of the championship. It's how well you deal with direct play. There's a real difficulty to this as well. It's like hitting the balls near your corner flags, pinning you in, throw-ins, corners. We've had this discussion plenty of times. So you have to deal with that physical side of it. And then when you go and play against teams like United, you stretch in terms of how you're going to go and press them up the pitch if you really want to do that. Or they pin you, and then I don't believe you get anything out of this game. So what I wanted to say with this is it should give you the belief that if you ever face against a team who's a good ball-playing team, you can still get at them. But then the problems we're going to have to face against Birmingham are completely different problems that we can't underestimate them. Thank you.
Did you enjoy the challenge of managing against Premier League opposition?
Well, I'll enjoy it more when we win. But it's a league I know in terms of there's very little that surprises me in this league. I know the level of the level you need to have on a day to win a game, and what those players have done today from United in those moments of qualities. I've lived in that league for a long time, so it's not something that I'm necessarily at. But you got to be equipped though, and because of where we're at with Burnley, for us the best way to equip ourselves is to make the players improve. And so we put a lot of time into that.
Was it important that you approached the game in the same sort of way that you've approached league games and didn't sort of differ from what so well?
Yeah, but it's a cup game away at Old Trafford, and look, the one goal we concede, we're actually with 11 men back, and he finds the ball over the top of our fullback, squares it. It's the same result. So I think in the way you go into these games is you can lose the narrative if you change too much, But in this case, we did what we do. We had less of the ball, but we like I said before, a lot of emphasis is put on our team in possession. I don't think enough in our team in the pressing. I think we're with the amount of regains we had high up the pitch. At this level at Old Trafford, I think that's something you can build on, and so there's a side in possession, but we're not faced if we don't have the ball. We just don't want to get pinned. If that makes sense.
Yeah. You brought Scott Twine on sort of later on in the game. He played centrally through the middle. Do you see that as a potential position?
Sorry, who's that?
Scott Twine.
Yeah.
Played centrally sort of through as that as a potential position for him going forward?
He's a player who can do both. He can be inside those pockets, in those half spaces, but he can also be centrally and drop in. And he's got good feeling as well for the timing of his runs in behind. So I think naturally his instinct is to be a number 9, but because of how good he is in terms of how well he takes care of the ball and his final ball is quite good as well. So he could play in a number of positions, yeah.
Just on a couple of injuries, Manuel Benson obviously went sort of hobbled on a little bit. What's the early prognosis on him?
No, it was a cramp. So, but a lot is made about players going off with cramps. But in this case, he ran his socks off, and that's the way to go off. When you can't anymore. And for him, that's he'll get a lot out of this performance because if I remember watching Benson back in Belgium, and you would always say that in these type of games is was he going to let his team down when they didn't have the ball? And today I thought he's shown a different side to his game. That if he keeps improving on that, plus what he did on the ball, which was for everyone to see at Old Trafford as well, which is not easy. He's a player that's going in the right direction.
Was Nathan Tella close? Is he likely to be in the mix for Tuesday?
Yeah. Probably. We'll see. But he caught the flu pretty badly, and he still feels a bit weak at the moment.
And actually Westwood just sort of going at it behind the scenes, but not quite ready for the first team. Is that still where he's at?
Yeah, Ash, we'll take our time with him. Yeah.
Vincent, you suggested that this would kind of be a yardstick for where you were. What's your assessment of that, and where do you feel that you are building for?
No, look, it could have gone one or two ways in it. Today's either you put up a fight or you get completely steamrolled. So, but I'm not gonna get overly excited by the performance. But one thing's for sure is that there's a lot of plays. I mean, I'll name a couple of plays because it's going through my head. But when I look at Madsen and he's 20-year-old and he does what he does here, and Bayer 21, my feeling is that if they keep and Taylor Howard Bellis, I mean, I can go through the squad, and my feeling is that if they keep working as they do with us every day, they've got to feel confident that one day they can step it up again. But it was just that, and look, these type of teams are many times for a team like Burnley to come to Old Trafford and win, even put up a fight. But it's not who we have to beat right now. We've got Birmingham, we've got Swansea, those are the ones. But it allows us to see, we stretched the team today a little bit, and I wanted that. That was good for us.
Well, I guess you'll all take some encouragement from that, and that will help you build going into the remaining championship.
Yeah, for sure. It's got to materialise ultimately. You got the game to play now against Birmingham. It is completely different. Could be more different than what we faced today. But that's what we've been That's what we've been dealing with the whole season. So we'll go back to that, and if we have to step it up again against another Premier League team one day, which we got Bournemouth in the cup, it should give us confidence that we can keep having a go.
I would say why you won't want to get too distracted by today's performance. It will give them a kind of thirst for what could be to come.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing for them is when you're doing well in one division, which we're doing now in the Championship, there's always that thing of like, yeah, but would you do it as well against a Premier League team? And then even in the Premier League, it's like, would you do it against a top Premier League team? And so today does gives you that feeling like, okay, United won, and that's fine. But it gives you that feeling like, we've got something to work towards. Like, why not try and have another go and see what we can do next time? But, we are where we are now. It's the right place for us as well. Being in the Championship, that's the level of our players. And we've got to beat who's in front of us.
Were you pleased with the way your backline handled the intensity of United's press at times? Many teams might come here and go along under that kind of pressure, but it seems to keep it cool.
Yeah, no, I think we did well, but I set the bar really high for them, so I think they'll all feel like they can do even better. Yeah.